Hello everyone! A couple months ago, my friend Lucas reached out to me to talk about some of the projects I worked on. At first, I kind of was confused because in my mind, the only two things I've ever really done were Magic Bird Parody and Tiger Moth, and I didn't think I would really have much to say. I've always kind of seen people like him and Caleb Train as these are like the big guys, but then I talk to them and they're like my peers. And I realized that I could have been doing videos on YouTube for a long time, and I just sort of haven't, and I don't know why. Like, starting all the way back with, the TCC days, when we used to be coworkers. I keep forgetting that, 8 or 9 years ago, I was in the Thomas Creator Collective with people like Enterprising Engines and Steven, and that's how I met Nikki, and through Nikki I met Rob, and etc. And I realized that I actually have quite a bit from those years that I would really love to talk about, because I didn't make any content at first when I first started working on the TCC. I was just doing Twitter memes and shit posts. Probably some of the earliest Thomas YouTube videos I ever saw were the Leo Kim video Mad Bomber behind the scenes stuff, and that probably had more of an impact on me than the actual Mad Bomber video itself. Just seeing how this stuff was done, the techniques that he used, how he modified the engines, and he made all these customs. That's like my favorite stuff in the whole world. And then I grew up and I realized that I have become that person now. I have years worth of Magic Bird parody and Project Tiger Moth behind the scenes stuff, just showing not only just my life and me growing up and becoming an adult, but also just there's so much that we worked on in those years that I would love to talk about. Something else that I would really love to dive into is a bunch of my prop restorations. Over the years, I have worked with Ricky and Lewis over at Thomas Tank Merch on, quite a few of their props. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen some of these prop restorations, but just to give you a quick sort of rundown, I've worked on Percy, Season 1 Percy. I was involved with restoring some of the paint chips, matching the color, getting the running board figured out. Sir Topham Hatt's car that appears in Tiger Moth was sent to me by them to restore, and it just sort of happened to be around the time that we were filming, and I asked and we put it in. But there's going to be a whole video on that. So last but not least, one of the things I am most excited to talk about is how I got and restored the original pilot Sir Topham Hatt and the two drivers. I cannot believe that they are the ones used in the pilot. That kind of blew my mind this year. Because, I'm the guy that grew up watching YouTube poop, so every time I see that driver, all I think about is Keeper of Beans, and it's crazy that these guys just live in my closet now. So expect a full video on them at some point soon, because how could I not? Now, I know that a lot of you watching probably have won stuff in the prop store auction. Don't lie to me. I know you won. With the amount of people getting props nowadays, I thought that it would be cool if maybe I were to offer my services to fix stuff. What I would like to do is offer my services and have sort of slots open, depending on the size and the damage of whatever we're doing. My rates will fluctuate, but I'm gonna try to be as fair as possible. I don't really know what professional prop restoration people will charge. They probably want thousands and thousands of dollars for this stuff. I'm thinking kind of in the hundreds. If it's just a little, paint chip or something, maybe $100. But if it's some serious damage, if it's gonna be a big project, if you got I don't know, the close-up Skarloey and it fell to dust and you need me to completely rebuild it and repaint it, you're probably looking at about $500. Listen, I'm willing to negotiate. You guys kind of just decide what's fair. I'll just kind of do it because I really just enjoy fixing Thomas props. It's a hidden talent that I didn't know that I had, and I would really like to offer that service to you guys. So you can keep an eye on my Twitter. I'll probably have a commission sheet with the prices listed and stuff, and kind of estimates, because these things take time, and I really want to do a good job, and I don't want to be rushed. I'm not a professional, but I would argue that some of my work is better than some professional prop restorations that I've seen. So it's your gamble. Either spend $2,000 with the professionals, or trust old Flying Pringle. I think you'll make the right choice. If and when I kind of get this operation off the ground, I will have updates on my Twitter. Obviously, you can follow me at Flying Pringle. But now on to the big question. As I'm sure many of you are wondering, What does the future actually hold for Tiger Moth? What is the real sort of definitive answer going forward? Is there going to be Tiger Moth 2? Is there going to be Tiger Moth 3? Am I just going to joke about it forever? Well, here's the thing about Tiger Moth. I've always said that I would only do it again if it was going to be fun for me, because to me, making videos is kind of just about having the experience of doing them. You know, I used to do videos for fun with my friends when I was younger. I used to be in the TCC. I used to do stuff for Magic Grid Parody. And to be honest, Tiger Moth just right now financially is just not something that I am capable of producing a sequel to in any capacity. It is just simply too expensive. Just getting all the people together, renting the space, getting all the models built. Because, you know, I don't really even own most of the models from Tiger Moth. I own all the buildings, kind of. I own Toby. It's all kind of split up across the country. You know, Rob has a bunch of my engines, you know, Parker's got some stuff, and maybe if we had the money, I could get them together, but it's just not something that's really in the cards right now. But I'm not one of those guys to ever say never, so it could happen. If I was in the position to do it, and if I thought it was going to be fun, I would do it in a heartbeat. But in the meantime, something that I think will satisfy everybody is build reels. I realized that I built so much stuff for this thing, and I've never made really threads on it or anything. The entirety of Project Tiger Moth, part of the reason that it was so tough was because I was doing it all in secret. I would have loved to have shown step by step how I made all the buildings, how I made all the figures, how I made all the engines, but I was so kind of wrapped up in wanting it to be a surprise that I just never really documented anything and never really properly filmed a video. I took a lot of pictures, but I was not thinking ahead, and now I have to go back in and make those videos. But it's actually something that I am really excited to do, because there is so much to talk about. I made this building, and I made this, and I want to talk about how I made these guys, and I want to talk about how I made this, and I want to talk about the crane. I want to talk about all the flat cars and the wagons. I'll make a build reel about Toby, about Gordon. I got build reels on everything. It goes on and on. My little Topums, my big Topums, the teeny tiny Topums. Expect me to not shut my mouth. I could talk for hours about this stuff, so you better tune in.
Yeah, I'm watching you, boy.
Yeah, Dennis. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Dennis. But okay, I hear you say. Okay, we get it. Tiger Moth, big whoop, big deal. Okay, good old days. You got anything else? You got anything else for me? Or is it just gonna be this Tiger Moth crap? Well, you've come to the right place, because I have more to talk about than just that. I also have a lot of Magic Railroad parody stuff to talk about.
So do I.
Nikki?
That's right, Jacob. This is a crossover episode.
Wow, talk about the good old days.
But I'm also here to help you make a very special announcement.
I'm gay?
Yes, you're correct, Jacob. You and I will be making a joint Patreon together. What could be straighter than that?
2 people with 1 Patreon? Who's ever heard of that?
No, but seriously, in addition to Jacob's stuff, I also realized I'm sitting on a huge backlog of Magic Railroad stuff, so now that we're actually living on the same coast, we can, collaborate, if you will. Podcast, featurettes, behind the scenes, vlogs, all sorts of crap!
We might even start making some new crap together.
Oh, for sure, definitely some very crappy jokes.
That was funny. That was funny, he chuckled as he pleased himself. Annie and Clarabelle were deeply shocked.